So what I want to do kind of first is I want to talk about what was the most important thing for me the entire EVO weekend. Besides maybe the people that I went with, that was probably the most important thing. But besides that was the commentary that I got to do. So I got to commentate DNF Duel at EVO. And not only did I get to commentate DNF, I got to commentate the first round of pools, as well as the top 6 and all the way through the grand finals. That is absolutely amazing because it's been a dream of mine just to go to EVO, let alone get the chance to commentate a game that I absolutely love. A game that my entire YouTube channel is built around is DNF Duel, right? I've branched off a little bit. I've done a few other things. However, DNF is where we started, and DNF is still like probably the most popular, the thing like most people care about with my channel is DNF related stuff. And so the fact that I got to commentate for that game is nothing but a dream come true. I'm so grateful to everyone who was there that allowed me to do it and to make it happen. So what I'm going to do next is we're actually going to go ahead and watch grand finals. I'm not going to have audio on in the background here. I'm not going to do that because this is someone else's recording. It's not the most legitimate thing in the world. However, I'm not going to have you listen to me talk and listen to them talk and then listen to my commentary in the background as well. Don't do that. I've already talked to Shay. Shay is the person whose Twitch this was handled on, who they organized the DNF Duel tournament as a whole. So commentating DNF Duel was incredibly fun. Again, I mentioned I got to do 2 different sessions. They said that commentary would start at 11, so make sure I was there by 10:50. And I was like, hell no, brother. I'll be there at 10:15. Like, I got to do whatever it takes to make sure that I'm there and that things are ready. So they got me there. I got to sit down and get the audio tested. I had a guy in my ear. I had like a guy in the chair, you know what I mean? A guy in the chair who was incredibly great at his job, did a wonderful, wonderful effort, and was, kind of telling me a few things throughout the commentary process. Not many things. It definitely ran very smoothly, so not many things had to be told. However, that was just really cool having a guy in the chair. That's kind of what Sake is at times as well for Mutiny, but he's also very in front of things and involved because he kind of needs to be to make things run smoothly. So that was neat. My first partner was Guy Man, and they were awesome. Honestly, like they were actually someone that EVO provided. The EVO provided kind of a backup commentator, because the commentator that was supposed to be there was not ready or couldn't get through the line or some other situation. So instead, they provided Guy Man, and I'm so glad they did. He did a fantastic job. Definitely allowed me to be open and kind of chill and relaxed on the microphone. And it was a really fun time just getting to kind of connect, with him as a co-commentator. And then for grand finals and top 6, Max Ninja was my partner as well. They definitely were a little bit more, I guess, knowledgeable about DNF than Guy Man was. But that doesn't mean that he did like necessarily better or worse job, just that they had been playing the game very recently. And it was actually very fun because in top 6, we had a ton of Vanguard and a ton of launcher gameplay because Kazunkai was on winner's side, got kicked down to losers actually by Borderlands, the guy who's fighting in grand finals right now. And then obviously you got to see a lot of Borderlands, as well as Ganondorf. Ganondorf was also in the top 6. And I think Jaxfex was there too. Jaxfex did he get 4th or? Jaxfex was for sure in the top 8. I just forgot where Jaxfex placed, but he was up there. So lots of good launcher gameplay that we got to see throughout this entire tournament. And it was fun because Max Ninja was a launcher specialist, and obviously I'm a Vanguard guy. And so we got to commentate these grand finals, each with our own little biases, each with our own little like characters we wanted to see win. And that was a really, really fun time getting a chance to do that. So as far as DNF goes, I'll also talk about me competing. I'll talk about, my time in DNF. I went 2-2. I managed to defeat a striker player as well as who was the other character that I fought? I don't think it was Enchantress. I can't remember who the other player and character was, actually. I apologize for that. It wasn't a Vanguard mirror either. It might have even been a Berserker. I think I might have beat a Berserker. But then I actually lost to Ganondorf, who I think got 4th. Then I lost to Borderlands, who got 2nd. And so they both played launcher. Both were much, much better than me. They played much better than me, much more patient. And so they definitely deserved the wins, and they got them. And so while it would have been cool to get a little bit higher in DNF, I was very happy with my performance based on how little time I've had to like kind of play the game. But even with that extra time, I do think that Borderlands and Ganondorf probably would have still got the rounds on me because they've been putting in the effort and they've really, really been committing to the game. So props to those guys. It was a fun experience. Very, very fun experience. I was actually in the same pool time as Lassie. So Lassie and I were able to not play against each other, but just be around each other and support each other while we were playing our matches. So that was a great time. So then back to commentary, back to the experience of commentary. It was kind of everything that I wanted, honestly. It would have been cool, clearly, if this game was featured on a bigger stage. It was a community showcase, meaning it was a much smaller area, much smaller, base of players who were playing it, as well as no real place for people to spectate in chairs and stuff. Some of the community games got a few matches on different higher end streams. However, this one, we had our area, we had our kind of booth that we were given to play the game, and that's what we did. So the actual games themselves, it's great to kind of see the growth in a full bracket like this. These are people from all over the world. My first opponent was a guy who played a lot of DFO and knew way more about DFO lore than I did, but hadn't played DNF Duel since the patch. So that was actually really interesting that they came from the original game, and then, I had never played the original game. So that was pretty fun, getting to know there's lots of different people who show up to EVO, not necessarily thinking that they're going to win or thinking that they're going to be at the very, very top, but they love a game and they simply want to play it. That was great to kind of get the understanding very, very quickly. So the actual matches themselves, seeing the progression from winners, round one, seeing the progression from pools in the first couple rounds to the top 6 was crazy because there was a lot of drops. There was a lot of nerves and pressure in the beginning. Then getting to see these players kind of overcome all that and then come out on top, come out and play just their absolute best at the end was great. That was so fun to get to watch. I loved that experience. Obviously, what you're watching right now is Kazunkai versus Borderlands in the grand finals. This was about the hypest set it could have been. Obviously, if Borderlands would have taken a couple games and made it a little bit closer, then that would have been fun. But they already played each other, and Borderlands won in that match. That set was pretty close. So Kazunkai instead, realizing that, hey, I just lost to this player before, and they had my number. Zushi dropped her toy, 1 second. They had my number, so let me change how I'm playing entirely. And in doing it, that was incredible to watch. It made it obviously very clear that Vanguard can beat Launcher, and that it just takes being a little bit crazy, being a little bit unpredictable, but also optimizing every single thing that you can. Kazunkai really was kind of inspiring for any fighting game player here, but especially for a Vanguard player, because they were ready, they were calm the whole time, played very, very well, but never let that kind of never was complacent. You know what I mean? They were at their max focus the entire time. So again, to commentate a 6-0 grand finals reset at EVO 2023 was incredible. It was such an amazing experience. And honestly, I'm sold on EVO. I mean, who would have figured, right? I'm sold on EVO. I'd love to get the chance. Love to get the chance to go to EVO again. I'd love to commentate again, but if it only ever happens once in my life, that's still something I'm going to be talking about for forever. That I got to commentate a game at EVO. I got to commentate grand finals. There was a reset. It was my character, who won, who came out on top at the end of everything. Absolutely phenomenal experience with DNF Duel. And if you have not watched the DNF Duel top 6, they're on Shay's Twitch channel. That's XIEI is how you go to their Twitch channel. The VOD is still saved. I talked to Shay about getting those videos on YouTube, and they said that they would work on editing and getting them uploaded when they get the chance. So when that does happen, I'll be posting about it on the Discord and probably even the YouTube, so you guys have links to go find the top 6 to watch. I did not get to see the chance to see any Twitch chat during it, so just be aware of that. If there was people in Twitch chat, I didn't get the chance to call you out because the screen they provided me with was just watching the matches, which probably is the more, professional thing to do. But just be aware of that. If you said hi or called me out or whatever, you made fun of my hair, then I did not get the chance to respond to it. And I think that's probably it. Honestly, I just can't iterate again and can't iterate enough how amazing this experience was. And this definitely has kind of re-sparked my passion for commentary, especially for DNF. This experience is just amazing. It was absolutely amazing. This was kind of by default the highlight of the whole week. Obviously, I talked about getting to ride there, with a bunch of my friends and spend time with a bunch of my friends there was phenomenal as well. But as far as like the things I never thought I'd be able to get to do ever, commentating at EVO was one of them. And so again, like to thank Shay, like to thank the people working the booth, like to thank Guyman as well as Max Ninja. And obviously huge shout outs to Kazunkai for taking the whole damn thing. Your gameplay was incredible. And I don't think my Vanguard's going to be at that level, but just showed me a couple ways I can try and get to that level. So that was the DNF Duel commentary at EVO 2023. And that right here, I was able to talk through the whole set. You see the pop off, you see the win. Obviously, Borderlands on the right taking it relatively well because, it's tough to not win EVO, even though you came so close. But they played very well. The whole thing was hype. Was very excited to see these guys get the chance to play their favorite game. You know what I mean? Like it was just so cool. Just such a cool experience. I think this one's ending right now. Yep, perfect. I think it cuts right before it actually cuts to us. There we are. Okay, you had 2 seconds of me. 2 seconds of me visually on commentary.